Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. How's everybody doing? This is Twitter. I shouldn't be on this page. We're here with Orange today. We're going to be talking about Transmetal's 1999. Hey, Orange, how's it going?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Are you good? How are
Uh,
you?
little sad I'm not TF Nation this year. You know, been seeing everybody have fun and whatnot, which is kind of sad, but, that's about it. Been
Yeah.
working as you do.
Well,
Uh,
keep tabs on them on their socials and all that good stuff. And
Yeah, I'm waiting for those
it'll be
fuckers to
like,
get home now and make YouTube videos so I can watch and live vicariously through people.
yeah, that's what I do.
Apparently, one of the guys saw, I don't know if you know them, a YouTuber called Super Eye Patch Wolf there. I was like, oh shit, Super Eye Patch Wolf. He's an Irish video YouTube content creator. He does the video that he put up this weekend was social anxiety horror media, which was
That
quite
sounds
interesting.
wonderful, and I want to watch it.
Yeah, it actually got me to watch a movie called All My Friends Hate Me. Have you seen that one?
I haven't. I haven't even heard of that. That sounds interesting.
It's actually it's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't think the ending is super satisfying. As in, I don't believe it, but it's got all those kind of, you know how people feel about social anxiety and stuff like that. It's got everything in there from like uncomfortable situations where you're like, why is everybody being such a fucking twat to me at the moment?
Yeah.
It's an interesting premise. There's also like he mentioned Paranoid Agent, I think it's called, the anime movie, which I haven't seen, but I've heard of before, and that's meant to be pretty interesting as well.
Paranoia Agent, I think.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, you've heard of it then?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he cites it a couple of times in the video, like when the I only know it from the clip, like when the kid is bullying the fatter kid because he thinks he's spreading the rumors about him that he's the kid with the baseball bat, and then the phone gets the image of him bullying the fat kid gets sent to everybody, and everybody kind of just looks at him. Like that's the social anxiety kind of horror of it, and I'm like, oh, it's a very relatable kind of horror. It's interesting. It's not a horror of
Yeah.
like a man stabbing you repeatedly who's wearing a hockey mask. It's like everyday situations where fuck. You just go fuck. I fucked up, or everyone's looking at me, etc., etc. It's interesting because I think everybody, even extroverts, have felt that at some point in their lives, right? Must have.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, with the stabbing, it's like, okay, just get it over with. Yeah, stabby, stabby. But like, if you're just in a crowd or like in an awkward situation, like in a line or something, it's terrifying. Yes.
Yeah, like you're in a museum and you drop, I don't know, something and make a loud bang, a loud clatter, and then everybody just looks at you. You're like, oh fuck. It's that uncomfortable feeling. But they hold eye contact with you until you leave. It's not just the you pick up your stuff and everyone goes about the business. It's they just hold their gaze with you for like an awkward amount of time. It's like, oh.
I just play into my awkwardness. Just if I was in that situation, I'd just look around and wait. Hi, everyone.
See, I'm old and I don't care anymore. I just don't care. It's like if I do something like that, I'm just whatever. It doesn't matter. I've lost the ability to put too much thought into that stuff. But I know I remember that feeling. Go away, news. I remember that feeling, and I understand how people can feel that way as well. So it's interesting. We've got Big D in chat. Hey, Big D says, have all those who attended TFN spend all of their pennies? Well, I saw one guy who bought a Grand Maximus in box, so G1. So he's definitely spent a few pennies, that's for sure. I assume it's got the shell and everything, the Pretender shell. Big D also says sounds like real life to me. Oh yeah, maybe yeah. Paranoia Agent is uncomfortably good. Yeah, I need to get around to watching it. I have a copy of it. Let's say I just need to, you know. I was gonna watch that tonight, but then I realized I didn't have enough time. I might watch it after the show. See how that goes. But all my friends hate me. Put it on your list. I think it's a British movie. it is a British movie, so I'm not sure how easy it is for Big D will be able to get it, but I don't know how easy it will be for you to find Orange, but I'm sure it'll be somewhere, right?
Yeah, I can find it.
Somewhere
I have
around.
my ways of finding things. You know?
I also have my ways, and they're good. We should probably start the show, though. That'd be a good idea. Let me set up the music. All right. Okay, music time, and then Beast Wars. Here we go.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase podcast. My name is Andy, Decade Andy. Did I say Moonbase or Moonbase 2 podcast? I think I just said Moonbase podcast. We're here today to talk about 1999, the end of an era and the beginning of the Chris Jericho era, because that was his, Y2K. Y2J, yeah, it's a thing. This was the last of the Beast Wars series, the last year for Beast Wars. Let's just say, because Beast Wars had been going on, I guess, at this point for 4 years before we moved into Beast Machines and then obviously into RID and all that jazz. We're here today with Orange. Hello, Mr. Orange.
Hello.
Are you ready to talk about the last of the Transmetals?
I'm ready to dive in. I'm ready for these guys. Let's do it.
Shall we say true Transmetals? Because technically, I suppose we do have Tiger Hawk now, and we do have Transmetal 2 Megatron, but they don't have Vacuum Chrome. So are they really Transmetal if they don't have a bit of Vacuum Chrome?
Did they? I'm pretty sure they did.
Not on these new ones, not on the legacy ones.
Oh no, not in the legacy. Oh no,
the old ones they did. They definitely did for the old school boys.
Yeah, the Chrome's the best part. I mean, the new molds are good, but they just don't hit the same way because they're not shiny.
No. I think we could probably talk about it now. I don't think we talked about it last time when we talked about Transmetals. You said the Transmetal shiny parts make them what they are. I would agree, but the problem is in 2024 they are both a boon and a curse because I've seen a lot of Jawbreakers and Scourges, who we'll talk about as we go through the show, as two of our cool Transmetal characters, who are flaky as fuck. And they look really rough. At least some of them do on eBay. Have you ever seen a Transmetal flaking? It's really sad.
I have, yeah. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. So, 100% agree. It was a really cool thing that looks great, but unfortunately, time has not been super kind to it. I think with 2024 technology out there, you can fix it with metallic chromatic paints if you look around for the right kind, but it's obviously a bit of faff, and not everybody wants to go through the hassle of effectively painting their toys up.
Yeah, and you have to color match, and
that's the biggest problem, because if you're doing vacuum chrome versus chromatic paints, chrome paints, you got to be really specific, because especially for a flaky job. For a flaky job, I wonder if the paint would even match, because would it be level with it, or would the vacuum chrome be a little higher? I don't know.
I haven't a clue. No,
I don't know. I bet otherwise, if it is slightly different, you might have to then try and scrape off all of the vacuum chrome, which would also be a bit of a hassle.
I would love updates to all of these, but it's just a crying shame that we will never get a main line with this many molds. I mean, a main line. Where currently it's Transformers 1 that is the main line.
Is that the main line? Is Legacy not the main line?
I suppose the main collector line, the main kids line is Transformers 1.
That's true. Yeah,
they're all simplified. They've been the kids lines have been simplified since 2012, since the Transformers Prime, the late Transformers Prime era, and there's a decent amount of molds there, but they're just so simplified, and we'll it feels like we'll never get I suppose this would have to be generation style now, because they're vintage and they need updates. But unless the economy is fixed somehow, I don't even see it then, because there's so many characters that need to be updated in the entire franchise that yeah.
I guess a really good example, I mean, this isn't on topic of Beast Machines, but a good example of that is like, look at the Transformers 1 toy line versus the first movie line, the 2007 movie line. There were, I think the quality was better. They were more complex, I think, than the Transformers 1. That, if you want to say that's down to the target audience, okay, then fair enough. But I think the 2007 line was just bigger. There was way more, and there were characters like what's his name, Wreckage, who got recolored into Bludgeon. You know the one I mean? He was the Arctic vehicle. Like you wouldn't get him. Yeah, I like him too. He's got issues, but he's probably my favorite movie one toy. Yeah, I love the head design. I kind of liked his slightly weird hunchback proportions to him. I thought it was neat. You would never say, I don't, well, do I want to say? Yeah, I think I can say, I don't think you would get that kind of character with Transformers 1. I mean, we've got barely the full cast at this point. And the movie's not too far from coming out.
Maybe not. In the from the at least first three, maybe I really liked the G1 style repaints, like from the Unicron trilogy. They had like plenty of molds of that coming out. They had a couple of Beast Wars molds, even like the Pterosaur mold they done up as like a movie. Swoop, I think, I don't remember, but. Those were the ones I liked. Those and like the Real Gear figures, they were like G1 style. Like there was a watch and there was a camcorder and
you mean
like
the watch. Meantime,
that is the best name ever.
Yeah, because it's really stupid and makes sense. Meantime, he's the villain. Of course he is. Why? Because he's mean. He's a watch time. Meantime, it's great. Yeah, that line of Real Gear stuff was pretty fun. Just on the basis that it's like, hey, do you remember Soundwave and Perceptor and Megatron and all the Microman stuff? Which that effectively just with no namers.
Yeah, and that's why I love the like no name minions. Right? Of course I do. I'm a troop builder guy, so I was all over them. So that was my favorite part of the movie lines.
I think the thing that annoyed me was I wish they'd done a little bit more with it. I know it was from a different movie, but I wanted the Mountain Dew. But I wanted a Mountain Dew vending machine robot. But I think that was that first movie, or was Mountain Dew robot a different movie?
That was the first movie, yeah.
That was the first movie. Okay, so maybe you strip out the Mountain Dew iconography, but you just do a soda machine, can machine. I would have liked that. Do the wheel, the steering wheel could have been quite nice for that line as well, even though, wouldn't make any sense. It's just he's a Transformer steering wheel. Maybe it would have been cool. I would have been down for that. Big D in chat says, I think I'll take the longevity over the lack of chrome. No, I can understand that. That makes sense. But I like the chrome. There's a reason I don't get my Beast Wars / Beast Machines out box out. Oh, you should. They're great. If you don't want them, I'll bash your head in with a rock and I'll have them. Not cause violence. And Big D finally says you'd probably have to just strip the vacuum chrome off and replace it entirely. You're probably right. Let's get into it though, Orange. We're going to start off as we usually do. Basic, then deluxe, then whatever comes after deluxe. I think it's Mega then Ultra again, but yeah.
The Voyagers and Leaders of the time, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the best way to say it. We're going to start off with Night Glider, who is a flying squirrel who will be repurposed into Night Scream. But at this point in time, he is a happy little flying squirrel Maximal with an orange color scheme. This wasn't planned that we'd start off with an orange robot for Orange, but here we go. I've not actually had Night Scream before, or this version of Night Scream. You, Orange, I think you've mentioned that you have. So how does this fare as a basic?
Oh, I forgot this guy even existed, but he was really good. He was like so simple, but he was really good. Like I remember that he was like really stable. There was no like uh, accidental disconnecting of transformation joints or anything, which like that was the big bonus of him. So he was like really fun to play and fiddle with.
Um, is there any particular reason why his, like, let's call them squirrel arms, why they weren't attached to the wings? Because I've noticed that for the longest time and don't see why they're separate. Is it just due to the transformation, or is there another reason why they're just not like molded together?
I haven't the slightest clue, but they're pretty well articulated, so you could do other stuff with them. Like they're posable to an extent. That there are what, a couple joints on each of them. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a wrist joint and then a shoulder, squirrel shouldered arm joint, I guess. Yeah, it's got two in at least. They're as posable as his robot arms. They're just shorter in stature.
Yeah.
One thing I've never been a big fan of this look, at least for this version of the toy. I think it looks better as Night Scream. The way that they did the head. They've just done it out in vacuum chrome blue and then given him bright red eyes, which makes him look really evil. I just don't think it comes across very well. It looks kind of, I guess the best way to describe it is mushy. Like you can't see a huge amount of detail on the face. You know what I mean?
It looks like he's wearing a mask and his actual face is the orange part underneath. Yeah.
If you jump over to the Dark Scream or whatever you want, Hell Scream, whatever, the RID version, and you look at the head mold, there's a lot more detail on the face that you can see. I obviously not having the figure, I don't know whether it's the case that the vacuum chrome is just hiding the detail in the photo, or if the vacuum chrome actually has filled in some of the detail so you can't actually see it because it's been plopped on top and it's just kind of obfuscated it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I still have the Dark Scream figure, and I'm terrified to get it out because he will not look like the picture here.
Why not?
The chrome, he's gonna.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? Dark Scream is a piece of shit to get because you could either only get him in a 2-pack or only from Japan. Sorry, 3-pack. Yeah, 3-pack. And that 3-pack is shockingly not easy to get. It's a bit of a shame. I will say as well for this mold, the Night Glider mold, I love the fact that his sword is part of his like cute fluffy tail. That's nice.
It's like a sheath in robot mode. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I won't say that I love this colored distribution on him. The bright orange, I don't mind the orange. That's fine. But then just going to standard gray plastic. Then it's got a blue. For some vacuum chroming, and then for the other vacuum chroming, it's kind of a coppery, reddy-ish kind of color.
I'm pretty sure the blue is painted on.
Is it painted? No,
like
it's
metallic
not.
Blue.
What about on the wings? Is that not vacuum chrome as well? Just over textured, more textured area.
I'm pretty sure it's all paint, but
okay.
I think the blue goes well with the orange a lot more than the gray in the pink vac metal. But
I would agree. Yeah. Do you think he could have done with more blue to help him a little bit?
More blue. I'm not sure. What I would have done would be to make the vac metal blue, and maybe put instead of like pinkish, like maybe put the like painted on purple where the blue is now. Maybe that would have looked better.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Maybe make the gray into black.
You might be right. Yeah. It's not my favorite here in what's presented, and I do think they did a better color scheme with Dark Scream. Personally, I think Dark Scream has a less normal look because he's baby blue flying squirrel, which is weird. I guess orange flying squirrel is kind of weird in itself as well. I just think Dark Scream looks better than Night Glider Granted, I've never had the mold, so I can't say whether I like it or not, just visually. Do you have anything else you want to say about Night Glider?
I think we're good. Yeah.
Or another one I've never had, but I've seen reasonably cheap on eBay. Like, no one seems to like him. Scarab?
Yeah. This figure was weird.
What made it weird? Is it just because he doesn't have arms and the arms are one piece? Like, what makes it a weird looking dude?
Looking, no, I think he looks rad, but the way he did I remember he handles was like he had awkward articulation. Like, yeah, I can see his front like legs were just on the hinge. His back legs were a little weird until like those become his robot legs, which was weird. He I don't know. It's not like he was a bad figure. He was just pose like weird posability is all.
Could he hold a stance? Could he stand up okay? Because I see what you mean about the legs. Did he have 4 legs? Was he like Mantenna? Was he like a 4-legged dude, or did the insect legs kind of combine together to form like bipedal kind of legs for the robot mode? Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure his 4 back legs became his robot mode legs, like collapsed together. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh.
Maybe it would have been better if he had 4 legs. It would have given him an interesting look, I suppose, because not a lot of Transformers are like quadrupeds. Yeah, quadrupeds.
Yeah, that would have been rad. I think.
Because I like the head design on him. I think he's got a maybe if I want to be mean, a bit of a generic like troop builder kind of look to him. He looks like one that you'd have lots of that would kind of swarm you, rather than an individual kind of dude with his own personality.
Yeah, and I think his color scheme is pretty nice too, especially the dark green.
Oh yeah, the army green, and then we got like a vacuum chrome deep sea blue, and then rusty orange.
Yeah, a little bit. His colors are strangely like super nostalgic. I mean, I really didn't play with this figure much, but like that color scheme, I really like it. Like that blue.
Yeah. It was one that I've not picked up for some reason. Like I say, I've seen this guy reasonably cheap. He's one of the cheaper kind of Beast Wars transmetally kind of dudes popping up every now and again. So apparently no one likes him. Bless him. Which is kind of sad because I don't think he looks bad. I think in this kind of 1999. He's probably one of the weaker ones, I suppose. You agree with that? Yeah.
I would say so. I mean, I also note, especially with these Transmetal 2s, they are so asymmetrical and they have such interesting details on them.
Yeah, lots of good greebles. That's something that was really fun about the Transmetal 2 figures. Sometimes just picking them up and just having a look at all the random things on them that weren't painted. They were just there on the figure for no particular reason, just because it looked cool.
Yeah, he has like one saw blade on his wrist above his like right claw there, or like right scythe claw.
Is that what? Are they meant to be saw blades? Is that what that is?
That's what my mind interpreted him as.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah. Scarab, scream, this bug thing didn't get redone ever. This was the single and only one. He wasn't really used ever again, which is kind of interesting, I suppose. We have, I think, one that at least from TF Nations of the past has been not very well loved, and it's Optimus Minor. I don't know what the background is for this character, why he's called Optimus. I know why they call him Minor, because he is a little monkey rather than big monkey Optimus Primal. Maybe this was the Americans' attempt at doing Lio Convoy Jr., but with, monkey instead. Yeah, but not a lot of people like this mold, at least from TF Nation. I remember handling it, and it felt kind of awkward, splitting the monkey head and it just doesn't really do anything. It unless it's badly transformed here in this image, it just kind of awkwardly sits on his shoulders, which isn't a great look. Very wide chest, and then he's got an hourglass figure, which is, what all the ladies have been trying to go for. And the fact that his forearms split down the middle kind of looks weird as well. It's an interesting toy. I don't even know why they had why the legs can split. Why can the legs split, Orange?
You got me.
Okay, because I don't know. I was hoping you remembered why, because there are joints in there for the legs to split, but I don't see a purpose for it splitting.
The only reason I can think of is he has 4 forearms now. I mean, not 4 arms, just 4 forearms. I don't know. I think, like, in my opinion of this guy is like the opposite of Scarum. Like, his aesthetic is not pleasing to me. He's just a monkey, but he's really fun to fiddle with, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. What makes him fun to fiddle with, would you say?
All of the articulation. His transformation isn't that bad, in my opinion. It's the face is like really weird and probably the weakest part about him. But like his articulation and, like I said, transformation, it's all pretty fun. He's just he's not a looker, in my opinion.
He's not a lover but a fighter. I would agree that like he's interesting to look at, I suppose is a way to phrase it. His like for monkey mode to his robot mode, you kind of turn him upside down, like his arms become his legs become his arms, which I guess being an ape is relative with a posable toe and all that kind of jazz. His monkey mode, man, the fact that the monkey head doesn't really, it looks like he's wearing like a much bigger ape's head as like some kind of, I don't know, like helmet or something. It doesn't look right.
That sounds a lot cooler than it actually is.
Yeah, that's the problem. It doesn't look right. It's hard to even know how to describe it kind of looking at it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, like, is there anything in like my brain that I've seen in like media throughout the years that this kind of equates to?
Like a superhero helmet, maybe? How they have,
Like when you're 5 and you try and wear like your parents' hat, it's way too big for you. It doesn't fit and it just kind of flops over you. It kind of looks like that a little bit. Or if you've got like a Super Sentai helmet, that again is way too big for you and you try to wear it and it just didn't work too well. It's weird because I think the color scheme's good. Red, black, chrome, gold. That's all good. Great color scheme. And an interesting looking figure, I suppose. Just not a handsome one. Interesting maybe in the bad way, I suppose you could say.
Maybe, yeah.
Big D says the designers did kind of go full on with the Transmetal 2 bonkers detail and sculpting. I've seen good art of Minor, but the toy was always always weirded me out. Yeah, I can see that. He's in both modes. He's got kind of like weird, like he's Freddy Kruegering claws at you, like in shows where you see like a tree branch, a shadow on the wall, and it's like the fingers are slowly edging towards the kid, and the kid's he's got those kind of hands. They just look odd, not in a pleasant way, shockingly. But Optimus Minor, probably the weakest. The weakest Optimus Minor, then Scarum, that guy. Then the Night Glider, and then the last one, who we said. Oh no, we got another one. Oh, there's another one. It's Stink Bomb. I forgot Stink Bomb was a basic. Is he a basic? No, he is a basic. I wouldn't have considered him as a basic, but I'm trying to think back to him. It's like, no, I guess that's right. So this is Gas Skunk. What's the difference between Gas Skunk and Stink Bomb? Literally nothing. They're the same. Color scheme's the same. No new mold. I think the only thing they probably changed is the gem. Decepticon, the Maximal gem. Is he a Maximal? I think he is a Maximal. He is a Maximal, an evil, smelly Maximal, and he just gets a Decepticon gem shoved in there. I think this guy works better as a Predacon than a Maximal. He doesn't look like a hero, at least to me, design-wise. What about you, Orange? Does this design scream hero, or is it my biases from remembering Gasgunk from RID?
I never really gave any thought to it, but now that you mention it, he could be either one, like maybe like an anti-hero if we're going the hero route, but like yeah, he could be just like a standard villain, sure. I actually his chrome is gold and Gaskunk's is silver, so there's
that's the big difference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's also got I'm having a look at the other one. Yeah, he's got like silver toes as Gasskunk, and it looks like he's got a little bit different detail on his tummy. Yeah, on his tummy he's got a bit more green paint. So there is some difference, just not a huge amount. What do you think of what's this one called? Stink Bomb. Stink Bomb? Yeah, Stink Bomb. Do you like his little skunk mode?
He's kind of mid. His skunk mode is definitely the best out of the two modes. He's like a slightly mistransformed there. I think he's supposed to have like what are they called? Exhaust ports on his hips.
Yeah, they're actually flipped the wrong way, aren't they? I guess he should have flipped them around so they were coming out of his butt. Maybe he was trying to pretend that they were being used as a stink weapon in this mode.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, all
maybe that's probably just more likely a fuck up, to be honest. I'm not sure. I think this represents a skunk too well. It looks a bit more like a honey badger to me, and you definitely don't want a honey badger. Do you know honey badgers, Orange?
I know of them. I don't know what they look like offhand.
They look like this. Well, but not purple. Not purple. Or chromed, or with their gas vents, usually. It could happen. I don't actually mind the skunk mode. I think it's okay. He's obviously got my front legs are my robot legs. Like, they're just obviously way too big, and his back legs are clearly his arms and are really short in comparison. But I don't mind the skunk mode. I kind of like the robot mode as well. It's very kind of, I guess, average for a basic figure. The mask designer thing's kind of interesting, and he's got a cool ponytail mohawk for the tail, which you could argue is maybe a little bit lazy that they didn't do anything with it, but it's fine. I don't mind it. I like the color scheme as well. Yellow as a primary color that's mostly hidden in skunk mode to be revealed in robot mode. That's always nice when you get that. And yellow always goes really well with black and red. It's not a bad color combination. I like him. He doesn't have a weapon. He does just need to use his mohawk for a weapon. Again, if you look at the tech arc, that does not look like a hero. He's like screaming as a giant saw blade's coming from behind his head. Not a hero. Sorry.
No, not really. I really do dig his hairstyle there. His big ponytail. That's bold.
Yeah. Again, it makes him a little bit more unique. Maybe. What do I want to say? I can't remember. Does it make him harder to stand? I don't think it was too much harder for him to stand, right? Or am I wrong there?
Okay. Here. Let's say he is a good guy, but he's Australian.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. I'm down with that. Yeah. Was he actually? He wasn't Australian in the show in RID, was he? No, he wasn't. Right?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. No.
This was pre Australian Jetfire times from Energon, so where everybody had a very interesting accent.
That was Cybertron, and I do not remember Cybertron, fortunately, because I watched Galaxy Force. So
I'm pretty sure he had an Australian accent in Energon as well, didn't he? Did he not?
I don't think so. I think
I
it
thought
was
he
just
did.
the standard. Oh, who was he voiced by? Wasn't he
Steve
voiced
Blum.
by? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. It's an anime.
Oh.
It's probably Steve Blum. Chad, do you remember, did Jetfire have an Australian accent in Energon, or was it just in Cybertron? Let us know. I'd be interested to know.
Okay, I looked up Honey. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Big D says, as someone with a ponytail myself, I respect Stink Bomb's style. But Big D, can you kill someone with your ponytail? Is it serrated and bladed? Sorry, Orange, you said you found a honey badger?
Yeah, I looked it up on Wikipedia. Yeah, that's a honey badger, except for the long tail, obviously. But
Yeah. It's weird, right? It's not really a skunk. I think it's because they gave it a mean face, right? And honey badgers just have mean faces. They're not happy creatures. You know, a little. I don't know. Skunks are kind of cute until they squirt their gland at you. They're kind of cute.
Yeah. You gotta really be careful around them.
Yeah. They've got a. I only know of the smell of a skunk as when I went to BotCon in like 2011. I remember like I was being driven through the Nevada desert or some kind of desert. I don't know. It was a vast desert, and I was like, oh god, what's that smell? And my driver Nicole said, oh, that's a skunk. That's a dead skunk somewhere. I was like, oh god, it smelled so bad. It was for miles. It was like a bomb went off, and it was just a smell bomb. Is that what happens when you drive over a skunk? It's just like a nuclear smell explosion.
I would imagine. I never want to smell that.
It's not
ever.
great. It's not great. I think I've smelled worse, to be honest, through my life. But it sticks with you, that smell. Now and now another one which I thought was a deluxe but wasn't. Spitor. I fucking love this mold. I think Spitor is the best of the basics. He's my favorite.
He was my favorite of the Transmetal 2 basics too. He was wonderful.
My only issue with this is we only got a repaint of him into Slapper, which is also a great name. I wanted a green version of this. I wanted a yellow version of this. I wanted a whole frog team. I wanted the Battletoads, but of frogs. All different
now
colors.
You're talking, yeah.
But I like this guy. I don't like his gimmick of like his shoulder pad has a weird claw thing. I think it looks nice visually when you're not using it as a claw, but as a like action feature claw, it's bizarre. It doesn't really serve a purpose. It can't reach out and grab anything or anything like that. It's just weird. Everything else I like about this. I like his tongue, which is a mace thing. I love his like general hunched look. Like he's kind of unique in his head. He's got the Igor statue, right, where he has no neck. It just kind of goes down into the front of his chest, and then he's got just the rest of him. He's got a cute little butt flap as well to hide his shame when he's going to poop. I just wish he had maybe better hands, you know, because his hands are just his little front flippers. But apart from that, I really like this. I love him, and I love him in his frog mode as well. He's not a happy frog. He's more like a bull toad or something like that, I think.
I think this is one of the only characters to actually be like in the original Beast Wars line and then get an upgrade to Transmetal 2. Like it was mostly just like the show characters, but
yeah,
that's
true. Yeah, I've completely forgot. Yeah, Spitto was just the basic frog, which we talked about a few shows ago, and he got an upgrade for some reason. Don't know why.
Yeah, I dig that. About his claw there, I have mixed feelings about it. I think it looked really cool, but it would have been better if it was like a triple barrel gun or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And, yeah. And I think it's one of the only parts that's vacuum metal. I would have rather just like the rest of his shoulder, his frog mode rump, that be the vac metal, and then that be the like blue part on his shoulder. But I don't know. I suppose it's a lot prettier this way in frog mode because is just like a really colorful poisonous frog. So
I think the benefit of this as well is you mentioned the the vac metal. There's not a lot of it. There's just some nice highlight areas. Like he's got a little hat, a little jointy hat that's a vacuum chrome, and then like you said as well, the claw.
and his eyes. I forgot about his eyes being vac metal.
Are they vac metal or are they? Yeah, no, they are. They are vac metal. Yeah, and they don't look bad. They look really nice, and they're not something probably that's gonna flake. They're really good. I think everything just highlights itself well. I'm glad they didn't overdo it with him because it's hard to, and even if the vacuum chrome does start to kind of fall away, there's not a lot of it. You just kind of lose it on the chrome. Hopefully, you're not going to lose it on the top of his frog head. Overall, great. He's got loads of posability as well. And who do you prefer? Do you prefer this color scheme or do you prefer Slapper's color scheme? Because I think I like both of them. I don't know which I like more, though, to be honest. I don't know.
I really liked Slapper's multicolored chrome, but other than that, I got to give it to Spator.
You like the big blue boy.
Yeah, just like the really colorful, poisonous look. It suits him. Yeah.
Choose one other color you would like as a poisonous frog for the Spit-or mold.
One color for what do you mean?
Like if you were going to recolor him, what color would you redo him into? Because I think having him as one of the kind of bright yellow tree frogs, like if you lick, you start seeing the different folds of time would be quite nice.
Yeah, I would either go for that or just like that, like really yellowish green on his rump now. Just the entire thing, just yellowish green with black stripes. That would look nice. I think.
Yeah.
Right now he looks more like a water type Pokemon, right? Just
I could see that. Yeah. Really mean one
with a shell. Yeah, but he does look cool. He has a nice aesthetic.
I would say out of all the basics, if there was one to get tonight, if you're listening to the show, whenever you're listening to it, this is the one to get. He's a lot of fun. He's very good. Yeah. The only downside that I could see is if you get one with very bad ball joints, that would be the only negative. But that's, I can't. You could fix that yourself with nail polish or something, and it'd be worth it. He's great. Oh, there's another one. Another basic one that I don't have is Sonar. Sonar is a bat who I've not had before, but again looks pretty interesting. A little bit. Is he an evolution of Noctura thing? No, because that was a fuser from 1998.
Yeah, right. And this one's a lady, so probably not. Yeah.
What's this one like then? Orange.
I don't remember. I don't remember particularly liking this figure at all. Yeah, I don't remember anything particularly good about it. The figure was just like that. Her claws were not posable. Like the wings were just like there. They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I would. I don't know. I think it was my least favorite. It was between her and Scarum. I didn't like either one of them.
That's a shame because I think the bat mode looks pretty good. Like I like the actual mold for the bat face. It's got some neat lime green eyes and lime green bat teeth, and then the vacuum chrome for the head to really make it pop. But yeah, in robot mode, I don't think that head mold's very cool. The mismatched legs is okay. We don't see any side shots from it, but I know, like you said, the arms are just kind of, they're like Scarums, aren't they? They just don't really do anything, and they're these weird claw things, and it's just, it's kind of boring, I suppose.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that color scheme, it does look really nice in bat mode. I think I appreciate the color scheme a lot more nowadays, and I remember now that I'm looking at it, only one of the like what would you call them, like like
Sword
skeletal
things?
pieces of the of the wings is articulated. The left one, if you
yeah.
see, the other one isn't.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, asymmetrical design, I suppose, but why not just have it so she could have two swords? That's weird.
Yeah,
I think
right.
this is one of those cases where it looks way better as its alt mode than it does as a robot. That
Yeah,
chest piece in
agreed.
the robot mode is just it looks odd. It looks out of place. Just a big square red vacuum chrome chest with I guess those are silver disc pins, just kind of right in the center of it as well.
Mm.
Kind of off-putting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like nicely hidden and tucked away in alt mode. Just it's her butt in alt mode, if you can see.
Is it? Oh
Yeah.
yeah. You can just see kind of poking out the bottom there. Yeah. This one's not great. I think I've seen this one relatively cheap as well. What a shame, because like I say, I think that bat mode's actually got some niceness to it, but that robot mode just kind of farts through the finish line, it seems, in some ways.
And if you notice on the picture in alt mode, she is standing up on her robot mode legs.
Oh yeah, she's got a girl walk mode, but as a bat.
Yeah.
That's weird. Where are her? Oh yeah, because her bat legs in robot mode go to the kind of side of her head, like they flip underneath the chest and then stick next to the head, which is I don't mind that as a framing device, but
I do like that design on figures.
Yeah.
It's just on a horrible mold here. Is all.
Tiger Hawk obviously does it way better, but it's the same kind of idea. It's just not implemented as well because it's way lower budget. Now, this is a figure that I would really like to get, and every time I've seen it, it is horribly flaky, but it's really fucking pretty. It's Scourge, the tracker. If he was a bug, some sort of weird bug. What kind of bug is this meant to be? A grasshopper? Bug from hell?
Cicada or a grasshopper. Maybe I think a grasshopper. Some sort of like what do they call them? Locust?
It's probably a locust, yeah.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah, this thing is really, really pretty. It's got like really garish colors all over the place. Robot mode is let's say messy, to be kind. At least one arm specifically is a little bit messy, but I do like the robot's head mode. I like he has chicken legs in robot mode. That's always fun. The thing I don't like is the shoulder that has the bug head and then just has all of the bug legs to form the kind of messy arm. It's kind of the same messy design that Scavenger had, where it's just like, oh, here are all the bug limbs, and they're all just kind of poking out from everywhere, which is a shame because I think bug mode, really cool. Robot mode, nearly really cool, apart from that one arm that's just kind of a mess. What do you think of Scourge? Because he's an interesting looking lad.
I never thought of this before, but now I'm thinking what his Cybertronian form would look like. I think his beast arms or beast legs mode would look a lot better because they would look like the grabby claws on your robot suits or whatever you call them, like the industrial construction claws.
What's his name from Armada? Because when he got upgraded to the excavator, he had that kind of thing, right? Yeah,
something like that. Something like just claws like that, right? That would have looked cool, and like his legs would be like pneumatic, like
like pistons or something.
That would look really cool for his like Cybertronian mode.
I like the idea that backstory wise you could just say he was a construction vehicle of some description, like he was maybe not a Constructicon, but that kind of idea.
Yeah, and he just had a messy transition into an Earth mode.
Yeah, it's a
Doesn't
shame because
exactly-
I really like the color scheme. It's not just like he's got blue, like on his robot legs, it's blue, and it kind of crossfades over to a army green, but only right at the very bottom. Army green like his bug eyes as well, which is kind of neat because it all kind of ties together. It's very G2, I think, in its color scheme, which could be putting off for some people, I suppose, but I like it a lot.
I do too. He's so pretty in alt mode. He's very pretty. Yeah,
Very pretty, very pretty. And you can see why this is one of those, damn, his vacuum chrome's coming off, because like his entire bug back is all vacuum chrome. His bug head is vacuum chrome. There's a lot of vacuum chrome on this guy. A lot. Hell of an amount. Do you remember if he had any issues standing? Because he has such weird like robot legs. Do you remember any issues like with balance or anything like that?
I don't think so. He has. If you see in alt mode, that alt mode picture right there, he's mistransformed, and his very rear bug legs have like a little heel there that comes out. So I don't remember, but like from what he looks like here, he's pretty stable.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good at least. He didn't get any repaints either. He's one of those no-namers that just looks fucking sick. At least I thought so. I really like the head design. Kind of Waspinator-y head design. Looks like they could have been brothers or something like that. But yeah, I like this a lot. It's very good. Very nice. Cheetor is next. Transmetal 2 Cheetor. Again, one that I haven't had before. Mainly because I really fucking hate the robot design. I think it looks worse in the show than it does here. I think it looks a little bit better here. But I was never a big fan of specifically the head design for Cheetor. I think Transmetal 1 Cheetor is peak Cheetor design. What about yourself, Orange? What about Transmetal 2 Cheetor?
Yeah, I liked his depiction in the show a lot more than the figure. I mean, the figure was relatively fun to fiddle around with, but like his design is horrid. Like I like the vac metal is pretty. It's purple. It's like a deep purple, but like other than that, it's not pretty. It's not a cheetah, that's for sure.
No, it's way more saber-toothed tiger, right? Well,
yeah. It's
kind of mutant-y saber-toothed tiger, obviously, but you know.
I think having this design done up in like the kingdom treatment, where it looks more like it would look more like the real cheetah instead of this monstrosity. Of course, it was metal too, so it would have to have like the like metal bits here and there in the vac metal, but that would really help it, because it is just hideous in its canon alt mode.
Did you think this looked better as Tripredacus Agent? Because it is effectively the same mold, but what if it was black and silver instead?
Oh, I don't remember that. Let me scroll down here.
Yeah, if you scroll down, it's in the references.
Oh, no wonder I didn't have this figure, but he looks a lot better. Yeah,
I think it works as well for Tripredacus Agent, quote unquote, Ravage. It looks okay. I think it looks better. I think it's the colors that work from a lot better than Cheetor. Again, maybe it's Cheetor. It's just because he's orange, and then for his body, for the metal, they've got this silvery metal, and maybe that just doesn't work. It was kind of the same for Night Glider. We had the issue with Night Glider, which was orange and grayish silver, not kind of working well together.
I think what works for the Tripredacus Agent color scheme is the asymmetrical vac metal on it. Like it's gold. He has a gold arm. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really noticeable.
Whereas on Cheetor, it's doesn't really do anything for him, even though the vac metal looks good. It's.
Do you think it's because it's such a dark vac metal that it doesn't really pop out as much?
Yeah, I mean, in contrast to the lighter color in the it does detract from the look of the vac metal. Yeah, definitely.
I wonder if this Cheetor would look better if, granted, it wouldn't be show accurate, but for the most part, His head design isn't show accurate anyway, so what's it matter? I wonder if it would look better if it had cheetah spots or like cheetah stripes on it, just to again break up the yellow a bit more and kind of contrast with both the silver and the yellow. I wonder if that would have helped him out. Yeah, because he is very hard, just like flat yellow over a lot of him. Big D says it's a great look, just a shame that the forearm made it a pain to do any posing. You remember that?
Oh, true. Yeah, I do.
Did it just kind of pull him forward because it was like a lot of weight forward on him or something?
No, it was just like limited in, like it was a ball joint, but the ball didn't have anywhere to go. Like it didn't have any clearance. Do you see it in the robot mode? Yeah.
I've seen this on like other like toys and things designed. It's like, oh, we got a ball joint in it, but you've got no room for it to move around. It doesn't do anything. Did he have elbow joints? Because it doesn't look like it looks like he's got like a swivel at the elbows, but it doesn't look like he's got like an elbow.
No,
bend.
that's what I was talking. That was what I was talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the shoulders.
Wait,
Did
you say shoulder?
Yeah.
Oh no. His shoulders weren't great, but they had actually better clearance than the
forearms. Oh no, you're right.
Yeah. The forearms are on ball joints, but they can hardly move. The shoulder joints, they have that problem, but not as much. Like the elbow joints are effectively swivels, but they are on ball joints. Yeah.
This was the era of just do everything as a ball joint. That's the problem with the Beast Wars era. It's just everything had to be a ball joint, and they hadn't got tolerances down completely right for ball joints. Yeah, it was pretty new tech. Even by year 4, it was still relatively new tech for the toy industry for the most part, from what I remember. So can't blame it too hard.
The first ones were the G2 Cyberjets to have the ball joints.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yep. We got Ramulus next, another one that I'd like to get because I think Ramulus looks pretty cool. He's a goatman, lovely little goat boy. He did have a redo as well into Longhorn for Universe, who also looks pretty good. We can have a look at him in a moment. What do you think of Ramulus?
He was a fun toy.
He looks really interesting visually, both modes.
Yeah, there's something about his color scheme that it works. Like those are boring colors in my opinion, but it works on him. Like maybe it's just like the theme of the character. You know what? I don't know. I think the color scheme works though.
I think it's the placement. I think they've placed the colors in effective areas. Like they've got the dark gray to highlight the forearms and the hands, and they haven't like spread out the gray too much. It's on just the right places on the head. It's got it on the crotch area, on the outside of the legs, and then a little bit on the asymmetrical side of the leg as well. And then they just break up the white just enough on the chest. If they didn't have that blue and the green there, I think the chest would look a lot more boring, but they've got just those little bits of highlight blue. There's quite a lot of just like highlighted metallic-y blue just dotted around here and there. Not in huge blobs, but just enough to like pick out fun little details that might not notice otherwise. And then the kind of pinky, reddy vacuum chrome, again, is in a really nice spot that makes it look like he's wearing some sort of really fancy jacket with big 80s shoulder pads. It's really interesting. Yeah, I love it.
Speaking of the white, I think that's what does it. It makes a good design language. It gives your eyes a break, if you know what I'm saying, among all of the like other colors and elements that go really hard. The white is just like there to mellow everything out. And then there's like the metallic blue and the vac metal and the brown. It even helps the brown, in my opinion.
Yeah. Is it brown or is it like dark silver? Which is it?
It's brown.
Okay. I wasn't sure. And then goat mode, I think the only negative I could say about the goat mode is the goat head. Seems like it's always facing directly down at the floor, so he's always in like a charge pose, which is, I understand, that's fine. But that's maybe a little bit of a sad thing, Imagine you tell your animal friend he will never look to the sky; he'll always be looking at the ground. It's like, oh.
There's no articulation in his head, sadly, but like the overall design, like his long horns, that completes the design, in my opinion.
Yeah, and if this was a basic, those horns would probably become his arms, right? Just like they did with the Scarab dude.
Yeah.
Where you go, granted that his horns do just turn into a really bizarre weapon, which they call the Slag Maker cannon, which I'm like, okay, sure, whatever.
That goes really hard. I'm sorry. That's
what the name or how it looks.
The Slag Maker cannon, that's a lot better of a name than that weapon deserves.
I would agree. What do you think of the universe recolor of him? I don't think it's as good, but I still think
I still have this.
Oh, do you? Oh, damn! I don't think it's as good as the standard Ramulus, but I think it's still a really interesting color scheme on him.
Now that I look at him, does he have gold plastic syndrome? I forget.
Oh.
I didn't dig him out of storage in a long while, so I have no idea.
What would be the gold plastic on him, do you think? What makes you concerned? Like, is it the grayish, like goldy-ish kind of silver?
Like his lower legs, his alt mode head, probably his alt mode arms, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that's gold plastic-ish, but I don't know. I hope not. Because this is a decent looking color scheme.
Yeah, gold plastic doesn't necessarily have to be gold.
No, it's true.
Like the Transmetal 2 or Transmetal 1 Megatron, that like brown plastic is made of the same thing as standard gold plastic that has the gold plastic syndrome.
The swirls and the bubbles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I hope this guy doesn't have it. Well, I still think I prefer standard Ramulus more than this, but again, Universe did a really interesting looking color scheme. I think maybe the goat mode for the Universe version doesn't look as nice because of the blue compared to the just white, mostly white Ramulus.
I agree.
You agree? Yeah.
Yeah, the Longhorn's goat mode is nowhere near as interesting, in my opinion.
I might like the head of the robot mode more for the Universe version, just because there's a bit more. I think there's a few more paint taps just to highlight more parts of the face, rather than it being a little bit drowned out by just white plastic.
And I think it's like the opposite. The colors are like the opposite, in my opinion. Like they look like they'd be cohesive colors, but they do not work like that. I mean, maybe it's the proportion of the colors. Maybe it's just too much gold, not enough like blue or copper. You see what I'm saying?
Kind of, yeah. It's an interesting look. It's maybe not his best.
Yeah, I suppose.
Ramulus, he's the best boy. Then we have Prowl, who comes in two flavors. There's white Prowl, and then there is black Prowl. I have black Prowl. Friend George gave me black Prowl. Have you had a Prowl?
Oh, he was so much fun. Yes. I had
one
the
did you
original
have?
one.
What color? Did you have the white one or the black one?
The white one, the white and teal. Yeah, I remember
like the white one.
I remember the teal a lot more than the white. I mean, it's all over the place. It's my favorite feature of him. That this is what I like about Transmetals. Just the entire thing is like chrome. That of course it's not going to last forever, but like it's so beautiful.
So there are aspects about Prowl that I really like, and I think the downside to Prowl is the gimmick. The gimmick of like you get the wings. We haven't talked about the gimmicks for the other toys because I don't know what they were. But I know for Prowl, his gimmick is that you can put the wings up and the head will spin around, and thus it will spin the wings around as well to do this weird kind of hurricane attack. I think that is a problem for this figure because it means that the owl head in robot mode, in this picture, it looks like it's fine. It doesn't. It sticks out quite a decent way. It doesn't kind of compact into the chest. and the wings don't really do anything for robot mode. And by that I mean you would hope they would click and peg into something, but they don't. They just kind of rest very, very loosely on top of the shoulders, which is a real shame because I really like the general aesthetic of Prowl. I like the head design, and I like the owl mode. The transformation's a little bit strange because you kind of turn him through himself, if I remember.
Like Inside Out, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe him. I think Owl mode is probably his strongest mode, and I think it holds together the best. He's got also weird engines coming out of his owl butt, which is kind of fun. And again, like I say, I like the robot mode, but that gimmick, I think, pulls it down. It pulled away from what the robot could have been. If that head for the owl could have, like, if you could have pushed it, like, straight down into the chest cavity, and have mainly get those wings to just peg into something, because it looks like they should be able to, but they can't. Prowl would have been incredibly good. What do you think, Orange? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree?
I liked all of him. I completely forgot about the gimmick. I ignored it most likely.
That's fair. Yeah.
But like his color scheme is great. His articulation in both modes is wonderful, and I really like the robot mode. Again, I agree with you. His beast mode is the better of the two, but I like the robot mode. In the wings, I actually did like because of the vertical takeoff and landing looking aesthetic, where it has like the fans underneath.
Yeah,
and it's he can hover like that, right? So I sort of had that in mind after I got him, and his he was like so posable in owl mode. His you could just fold his wings down or have him out. You can his beast mode legs are super articulated, and his head, it does what a beast mode head usually does. He was really good in my opinion. He was one of, if not my favorite, Transmetal 2 figures.
Wow, okay. I can understand that. I think again in robot mode it can be a little harder to stand him. He's got actually quite good feet spread, but because of how heavy the wings are, I have had issues standing him every now and again, with him just toppling back. I don't mind. I'll make myself clear. I don't mind his wings sticking out on the side. I just wish that they could peg in. That's my main issue. In both pictures for both Prowls, the white Prowl and the black Prowl, you can see in the robot mode specifically, the wings are poking up. They look like you should push them down, and they should click into position and clip into where the shoulders should be, the top of the shoulders. But they just sit there. That's my issue. It feels like an incomplete transformation. You haven't done it right.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
That would be my big issue. If they could fix that, I would like this a lot more. I'd still have issue with the giant owl head just coming out a bit too far, but I like him. I think it's a really interesting look. Fun toy. I like both versions, black owl and white owl. I think these are really good. I think you could have done the white one and called it Sunstreak and Prowl or something like that. You could have made them brothers. Rather than just weird color variants. I think having them as what's the Canadian Marvel heroes called? North Star? Yeah, North Star, where they have to touch each other's hands and they can do the mutant powers. North Star.
I have no idea.
That's fine. That's okay. Next up, we have Jawbreaker, another one that I'd really like to get because it's got a really fucking sick design to it. But most of the time when I see it, it's missing a load of vacuum chrome all over its shoulders. What animal is this meant to be? It's some sort of...
I think a hyena.
Is it? Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
It's, if you want to be mean to it, it's got very big shoulders and a big arm, which is just... let's say the hyena, for argument's sake. It's got the hyena head, which is most of the arm, and then on both shoulders they have the front legs are is it the front legs or the back? Yeah, the front legs of the hyena as well, which are just kind of sitting there. I don't mind this. I still think it looks very cool, but it is a lot of kibble as well at the same time. I think probably the gimmick is the hyena head will do something automatic of some description. Orange, thoughts? Jawbreaker.
Oh, let's see. Where do I start? I don't hate him. He's like mid. I mean, like,
Is it him or her out of interest? Because it's a hyena.
That's a good point. It might. Well, let me look at Jawbreaker. Right?
Because it looks pretty big, so it could be a lady.
Possibly.
They might have just said it's a dude, though. To be fair.
Maximal from Beast Wars. He is a he.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Okay, so I really do like his vac metal. Obviously,
Yep.
Most of them, yeah. His robot mode is really plain and kind of boring. I mean, it functions really well as an action figure. He's solid. He doesn't have anything that like flips around or comes loose or anything. He's a solid arms, legs, and torso action figure, right? He's just really boring to me. His alt mode isn't that articulated, and it's a shame because it looks like a really good design, and it looks like he would be really, really fun if he was more articulated. Like his front legs have like 3 joints each, but they're all on hinges. His back legs are decently articulated, but they're back legs, and they have like that big spike coming out the back, which kind of hinders things. And his tail, nothing, no articulation there. He has the little like spinning blade on his back, which is cool. But yeah, his mouth isn't even articulated, so he has a lot of potential, but he just needs more articulation to like bring everything out.
When you say the robot mode's boring, do you specifically mean like color scheme wise, or what is it that you find boring about the robot mode?
I think it's the total design. Like all of his beast mode is in his arms, which doesn't actually look that bad, but like it makes the rest of him just look like a standard like generic robot, which I normally like, but like he's just too like smooth and he just looks like a guy.
Yeah, when you mention it like that, it gives me like Hydro Attack Batman, where it's just a Batman figure, and then you put on all the scuba gear on top of him.
Yeah,
I can see that. Like if you remove the hyena legs from the shoulders and the hyena arm, it's gonna be a really boring silhouette. Like you said, it's just gonna be robot with nice legs, pretty cool feet, and a decent head design. I think the actual head design's neat, but silhouette-wise, it'd be very flat. Nothing to it.
Yeah. I mean, he does seem like a good figure, but if you're not into the aesthetic, he's just gonna fall flat. So.
I know he did get a redo. He got a redo into Frostbite.
Yeah, I still have Frostbite, and I like Frostbite a lot more because
that is pretty cool.
A nice pun there. I really like the like elemental decos. Like this is like ice themed. I love that. So I like this one more than Jawbreaker.
I wish in robot mode it had some of that purple that's in the hyena mode, whatever you call it. You know, just along the top of the fur and on the nose. I kind of wish that was carried over into the robot mode. But the animal mode reminds me a lot of some of the monsters from Monster Hunter Iceborne. You know, the icy area. Yeah, it gives me that kind of vibe. I like this one too a lot. Obviously, it still has the problem of if you remove the animal legs and the animal arm, it just becomes generic robot. But I think I might agree. I think I like Frostbite a little bit more visually. It's a nice color scheme.
And I don't know why I didn't notice before, but like on Frostbite's beast mode back, it looks like his saw blade just like cut into someone and he didn't clean himself afterward. That just looks like metallic, like robot blood or something, right?
Yeah, energon goo and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would mean he stuck his nose in it too, which is quite fun idea as well. For sniffing them out. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Big D says, Alpha Flight, you mean? I did. The twins are North Star and Aurora. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Big D. He's got a lot of shoulder, that lad. Yeah, Jawbreaker has definitely a lot of shoulder. Simon Tang says, I have this toy, equals the toy as the gimmick is the saw blade on its back. Oh, okay. All right. Did the animal head not do anything in robot mode out of interest?
I think it has like an articulated like wrist where like it's not his jaw, it's not his teeth. It's like this like inside of the head like you can see it on the picture. Like it's the joint is like cut a little too far back to actually be his jaw, so like his jaw isn't articulated, but he has like a wrist there somehow, so it's a little awkward. Yeah,
that's weird. And Big D says pretty great beast mode. Yeah, I would agree with that. And here's another one I'd really like to get. It's Igneous coming back as well. Igneous being not Transmetal 1, but Igneous being from the first wave of Beast Wars, coming all the way up and skipping Transmetal 1s, getting over to Transmetal 2. He has had a repaint into Reptilion, who we'll talk about as well. He's a really cool robot name.
I still have Reptilion too. Yeah.
Damn, you've got a lot of the universe ones. Damn.
I do, yeah.
So, Igneous. I kind of like this one. I don't love this color scheme for robot mode. I think Reptilion does a little bit better, but as I say, we'll get to him. This is a blue lizard thing, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely a lizard, like a frilled lizard.
That's the one, frilled lizard. The ones that usually stand on the back legs and just kind of run at you, even if you're 5 times their size.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he gets like a battle war skirt in robot mode. That's kind of fun. You don't see skirts a lot. He's got a tail head as well, doesn't he? He's got like his entire tail that comes off the back of his head like Stink Bomb, right?
I'm pretty sure his head like retracts into his robot mode torso during transformation. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, like he has a little butt skirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Very big hands. What do you think of him overall? And does he have does his boob open up? It looks like he's got like Lyle Convoy's Matrix reveal.
Yeah, he does have a boob door.
Is that just for a crystal?
Yeah, just a little crystal.
Oh,
yeah, I think this figure's pretty good. His little butt apron there is kind of fiddly, but other than that, his robot mode is really good. His beast mode is pretty fun, and he has the little ponytail deal with his tail. Well, tail, yeah.
Yeah. I like this color scheme on him as well. I like his kind of derpy, almost kind of fish face for the lizard mode. But Reptilion, who I think is the better version.
I like Reptilion better than Iguanus by a lot.
Yeah, the colors on this one are more in keeping with the original Iguanus. Not completely, because instead of like the yellow, they've gone for a kind of toxic green kind of color. Black and then purple with metal in it as well. I think this is fantastic looking. And in robot mode as well, the way that they've painted the face, you can actually see the detail on the face way better than you could with Igneous. Igneous's robot face is lost mainly because it's just really dark blue that's highlighted by just red, and all the detail gets drowned out really heavily, especially compared to Reptilion, so you actually can see what's going on in there.
Yeah, agreed. I do like I do like Reptilion a lot better because of what you mentioned. And it is kind of ironic that he looks like the original Iguanus more than Transmetal 2 Iguanus does.
Hmm.
It like I did like that original color scheme, and they cut. Technically, he's a little bit more like what was it, crimson or burgundy, like really really deep dark red instead of like the brown that Iguanus originally was. But his basic color scheme does evoke that original style, original color scheme.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he evolved. He got bigger, kind of got more toxic-y. Everything kind of went a bit more evil, which I'm okay with. I think this is the better version of him. Again, I've tried looking on eBay for Reptilion and haven't seen him before. I've seen Iguanus, Transmetal 2 Iguanus, but not Reptilion. The Universe toys are just not easy to get, it seems, generally speaking. Because usually when you type in Universe, you get the the mainline Universe toy line rather than this interim that Universe was.
Yeah, it's a shame too because there was so many good decos in that line.
Some bad ones too, but yeah, most really good ones, mostly. We got Dinobot next, Transmetal 2 Dinobot. That's I didn't love, like, I got Transmetal 2 Dinobot from either an Auto Assembly or a TF Nation. I don't remember it being super fun. He also has a tail left over, which you can't really do anything with. The alt mode, I think, is kind of neat, but I don't remember really loving the transformation. I think I've transformed him only once or twice, even though I own him.
Yeah,
don't particularly like it.
Is bad, and this is a good example of why of Ramulus's color scheme not working. I mean, this is the color scheme that he has, except he made it work. This one does not. It looks just plain horrible.
Yeah, it's really similar. Like, it's only like by a few degrees it's off. Granted, there is a more recolored version of him because there's two versions of him. One where the plastic is kind of creamy white, and then one where it's just white. I think I have the creamy white version, to be honest, rather than the stark white version. Which one do you have, Orange, or do you not know?
I did have the original. I don't have either one of them now.
Okay, yeah, I will say I think the detail on him is quite nice. Like, I think the head design they've replicated pretty well for for a toy of this scale in this time period. But generally, it's depressing how it's just not very good. Or it's not very fun to play with. I think the Raptor mode looks okay though. Looks fine,
Yeah, I don't really like anything about him, honestly. Just,
what don't you like about the Raptor mode then?
His articulation is just really janky. His color
it barely works. Yeah,
horrible.
It barely does anything.
Yeah, like his mouth articulation, I think is the best thing about him. His like the aesthetic on his back, like the two like fins that sort of jut out the sides, and like the middle, like it looks like what's it called, Mr. Fusion from Back to the Future. Yeah, that's what that looks like. That's like the only cool thing about him. I think that's like the jaw and the back. The rest of it is just horrible in my opinion. I think they would have to. I think they would have to do a lot of work to make this design cool. If they were to say like update him for like generations.
I really like the idea of Megatron putting in like banana skin peels and rotten eggs and used eggs and stuff into him to make him run, though. That sounds like a really fun idea for the show. I would agree. This is not. It's one of those things where I think the design in the show for both modes looks really cool for the CGI model. It was just too difficult for them to try and transfer it over to at least deluxe. I wonder if it would have worked better if it'd been a mega well, you couldn't have done it ultra, but if it'd been a mega at least, if that could have helped him out.
I'm thinking because he was really big in the show, maybe he would. He might do pretty well as like a modern leader class, right? Just a big raptor that has a total freedom of budget and just making him a lot better. Yeah, I think they might, but I don't know. The way he is on this figure, it's I can't.
I think the problem is the only figure looking at the next 4 that we have coming up that they could have swapped over is Cyber Shark. I don't think you could have changed out Black Arachnia because her design wouldn't work as a deluxe. Tiger Hawk and Megatron as well. I don't think you could have downscaled them to switch them out for Dinobot, unfortunately. Especially because Dinobot's only in oh no, he's in less episodes than Tiger. What am I saying? Tiger's barely in the show and he gets an Ultra. Never mind, I'll shut up. Well, speaking of Cybershark, we have Skybite, who is not very good as a toy. I remember getting the Skybite figure, and I really don't like this figure. I don't find it fun to transform at all.
Yeah, he's another character that got a Transmetal 2 update. There's what, 3 non-showcase. There's Cybershark, Iguanus, and Spitor that got upgraded, and I think this guy is more on the good spectrum to me. I mean, most of the Transmetal 2s are like either really, really good or really, really bad, if you haven't noticed, in my opinion. But this guy is leaning more towards the good. Like he isn't stellar by any stretch of the imagination. I think his robot mode is the strong part about him.
I mainly had issues with how it transformed. I'm trying to remember exactly what I didn't like about it because it's been a while since I touched Skybite and transformed him once and kind of went, I don't want to do this again. And I think it was just moving. You know how he's kind of a shell former in some ways, but that wasn't why I disliked him. I just think I didn't like getting all of his parts into the right places. But like I say, it's been a while since I've really transformed Skybite, so it's maybe not entirely fair to say he's crap just because it's been such a long time. In terms of his color scheme, I think we could probably agree Cybershark's is less good than Skybite. Skybite has a much better color scheme on him.
Let's see. Honestly,
what?
I kind of disagree there because of just because of the back metal. It's just a really nice colored teal. His green, the green on his tail fin, it's just a lot more interesting than all of the painted detail on Cybershark or on Skybite.
Yeah, we completely disagree because I think the Skybite detailing, like the face again, the detail on the face is way more poppy with Skybite's yellow and white. The one boob blue, one boob silver looks really good. Blue and yellow and white kind of contrast nicely all against each other. You do definitely kind of miss the vacuum chrome, but instead of vacuum chrome, you get painted shark eyes. You get inner mouth painted detail for the shark mode as well. And you get all of the greebles on the back of the shark painted as well. And extra little, I guess, lights and random doodads have been painted on him to boot, compared to Cybershark, who is the details there mostly, but he just has the vacuum chrome on the back and on the fin, and then just red eyes, and then just it's all one color for the most part.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Either way, I think this guy's strong suit is his robot mode because it's not just you for his transformation. It is really, really hard to. I mean, it's not difficult, but it's
fiddly, right?
Yeah, it's really hard to sit through. There's some clearance issues. That might be not interesting or intuitive.
It's one of those ones where, from what I remember, it feels like the toy kind of explodes, and then you kind of spend the rest of your time slowly finagling the pieces back into the right position.
Yeah.
Rather than a kind of nice, smooth transformation where parts just kind of flow from one step to the next, which is really, pretentious way to make a transformation sound, I realize. But if you've played with toys like this, you probably understand what I mean. Like Transarts is a good example of toys kind of exploding, and then you just kind of rearrange the pieces. Even though it comes out to a nice looking thing at the end, Transarts, at least the two I have, the Megatron, Transmetal 1 Megatron, and the Transmetal Tarantulas have that issue, and Skybite Cybershark has that problem as well, I would say. These were the only two colors for this guy as well, weren't they? It was just Skybite and that. Yeah. Well, I guess there was a quote-unquote Gel Shark, but I don't think Gel Shark really had anything visually different between him and Skybite. I think they were just visually the same. I don't think there was any change.
It is of note that leakers say that we're getting a new Skybite action figure next year, so here's to hoping. It's
to replace the last one, which were... What year did that Skybite come out?
Oh, wow.
Was that Generations? No, that wasn't Generations.
2013. It was either before or during Thrilling 30. I think it was before, possibly. It was around that era. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either. It just didn't... It looked like Skybite, but it didn't capture Skybite for me, so I'm hoping this new Skybite will be top tier. Because I'd like a nice new Skybite. Be fun to have, you know?
I have hope for next year's offering, but yeah, I really didn't like the last attempt at him. He had the I remember he had like a downward facing tail, which is like more of a dolphin thing than a shark thing, right? And more of a mammal thing.
Yeah, because wasn't he sculpted in like a kind of a crescent moon shape?
Yep.
Yeah, I get it. It's the scene where he pops out the water and he talks. I think I'd rather have just like standard shark long body rather than it posed. I think it would make it easier to make a transformer that way as well. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I tell you what would be really bleak if we find out the Skybite's a core class. I'd be like, oh.
I'm pretty sure he's a Voyager, but
I think you're right. I think you're right. Excel Hedge says, I need a troop builder army of Transmetal 2 Dinobots. Oh, God, really? Oh, no.
Ooh.
Also, Skybite is not a good toy, question mark? Blasphemy. Yep. I'm going to say I don't think he's a very fun Transformer. I think his robot mode, like Orange said, looks nice. And his shark mode looks nice, but again, between those two things, it's not super fun. Excel Hedge also says, I need a Ruination before I need a new Skybite. Yeah.
I really want a Titan Rail Racer and a proper Voyager tow line.
I'm 100% down with a Titan scaled rail racer because
I know, right?
That'd be really cool. That'd be really interesting to see. It's a 3 Transformer thing. It's trains, and again, we don't really get stuff like that. And you were going to say Build King as well before I cut you off. Oh, no? Good.
Tow line, Voyager tow line. That would be like an accurate Voyager tow line. That would be like peak right there. I would be satisfied with Voyager tow line and Titan Rail Racer. That's Ruination. Yeah, sure. I'd definitely get that, but it wouldn't be what I would. Not on the top of my list. I'm glad we're getting Skybite, but.
Yeah, unfortunately, if we get a tow line, it won't be for many, many years, right? Because we had that repaint of whatever junkie on it was, right? For the Bumblebee line.
Scrap Hook, yeah.
Yeah, which I think it looked good. It wasn't really tow line's alt mode at all, but the head design was nice and the colors were nice, but it wasn't tow line.
Like I said, Scrap Hook is my favorite of the what's it called? The Legacy Year 2, but tow line was just Scrap Hook with Mystery Machine colors. That's it.
Kind of like Lockdown, right? Like it's the same idea.
Yeah.
Right, so let's move on to the last of the megas, which is another Maximal / Predacon. I don't know why they've got it as both, because she was clearly a Maximal by this point. It's Black Arachnia who has a very interesting design, but has many issues because of it, is how I would say it. She's got this stupid, like, waist kicking gimmick. Do you remember that, Orange?
Waist kicking,
Yeah,
no.
like the waist is on like a ratchet. Here we go. Features. Robot can spin kick action feature. There we go. She's got a spin kick action feature. That's what I
do not remember that. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, so she's got a waist joint, but it's not really a waist joint. It's to facilitate a spin kick. I can't remember if you need to wind it up, like you need to twist the body round and round and round to do it, but I suspect it's the case. It's very old, I guess 90s, still 90s kind of action gimmick that happened a lot for that era. Unnecessary. She's got hella back kibble. She's got a hell of a lot of back kibble. She's just got a lot of kibble in general. I was never a fan of the head design. Never have been. And she's on high heels, so she's got tiny feet, tiny heels, lots of back kibble. Doesn't make her for a super stable robot mode, but the spider mode is really pretty and interesting. It's not like any spider you've ever seen before in your life, which is probably, just as well. But I think the spider mode is clearly the winner here. The robot mode, I do not like. I do not like the Botcon repaint of her either into RC. It doesn't help. I think the color scheme's worse on the RC version, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's boring. Boring. Orange, Black Arachnia, Transmetal 2.
I really did like her design, but this figure, it was kind of weak on me. The spider mode had, like, it was fun because it had the leg articulation was spot on. Each leg had 2 joints, and that's really all you could ask for in an 8-legged figure, right?
Mm-hmm.
The robot mode was not good. Like I really want Hasbro, when they get around to updating this design, I want a Voyager class that is deluxe sized, because scale, of course. Of course I want scale, but like the extra budget should go into making it not crap.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to do it because she's one of those designs in the show which don't work. Right, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fudging for it to work. And I think they tried to compensate that here in the 90s, which didn't pan out very well, with just kind of all shoving it behind her. She has like Kingdom RC vibes, right, where everything's been pushed to the back and you've just got the female form at the front and then way too big shoulders. I'm not a fan. I don't like this figure that much, to be fair.
I always think that they could do the whole female form thing better. They just actively try to avoid like integrating any of the robot parts in, and I think that's partly because the robot mode body and like legs especially don't match color wise to the alt mode, but I really think they could do a better job at integrating everything. And like, I think this is this would, I think, have an easier shot than say G1RC at having a good figure. But I see why it would be hard to do, but I don't think it's impossible. And I think they could do it if. I don't know.
You mean when you say you think they could do it, you mean by today's standards?
By today's standards, yes.
Okay.
Definitely by today's standards. But this figure is, like I said, it has a good design, but the toy just falls short. I mean,
in its credit, I'll give it that it looks more like Black Arachnia did in the show than the first version of the Black Arachnia toy.
Oh, very, yeah.
So, there is that. It looks way more like her. Yeah. It's not a huge praise, but it's something. It's the first... It's the first show character to be done as a toy that looked like the show version of her. because we never
Yeah.
got a G1 RC. The first Black Arachne was, was just Tarantulas again. And then all the other kind of female Beast Wars figures obviously weren't on the show. So this is the first one that was from the show that actually looked like they should do.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it looks enough like her to, and I think that's partly because this figure was probably made for the show. Because the original figures were not. They were just doing their thing until the show came along, and then they're all like, "Yeah, let's just coordinate from here."
True. Yep. Exactly. So yeah, I'm not a big fan. What did you did you have any thoughts on the RC version, the Beast Wars? Sorry, the BotCon one, where she's just white and pink. Got chrome on it, vacuum chrome. You like that?
Color scheme's nice, but the mold, no.
No, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Next up, the last of the two big boys, Tiger Hawk, who's obviously recent. Both of these two last ones have had recent updates. So we've got Tiger Hawk, who's pretty similar to how he is now, except the new one's clearly better. I have this version. Obviously, the new version's missing his cool like little mask. Tiger, what do you think of him? Because I think my main issue is the white plastic. There's too much just white plastic. It drowns out most of the figure's detail. A lot of it, especially in the face as well.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I don't think in my opinion, I don't think the white detracts from the rest of the colors. I think the blue, the metallic blue more than makes up for it. As for what I think about the mold itself, honestly, I tried to forget about the original mold because I have the new one. It's so much better than the original. I think I have the original like Razor Claw deco of it.
Oh, that's the best version.
It's really cool. Yeah, but I will want to forget about that too as well when they get around to repainting the new one. So
damn, are you gonna do the Andy meme, the "I don't want to play with you anymore" as you drop it into a bin?
Oh, I should do that. Yes.
Oh no. Yeah, this is neat. I like the fact that didn't you like press down the pokey up feathers to activate the cannons or some of the features? You did, right?
It had a little hinge there, or not a little button there.
Is that not what the buttons were? It's like these, because those fins, the little feathers, are kind of sticking up, and you can see they're on like a metal spring of some sort. Big D says, yeah, he was spring loaded. He was spring loaded to the Gunnell. This lad, I think to the nines. You know, he was all the way gunned up. I get you.
I think the cannons on the wings were spring loaded too. If I'm not mistaken.
You're probably right, because they have a quote unquote third mode. This has three modes. It has robot mode, beast mode, and then quote unquote attack mode, which is just wings point forward, Gatling cannons point forward. I suppose one benefit you can say to the old one is that stuff was all spring loaded. Having the stuff flip around is kind of a bit nicer than, doing it with friction joints, even though friction joints are better for the future, for your toy stability and whatnot. There's something fun about pressing button and things just kind of flicking forward. Being like, you're done. Nice. I don't remember anything desperately bad about the transformation for Tiger Hawk for the original one. Do you, Orange, do you have any thoughts on the Tiger Hawk transformation that you remember offhand?
I don't remember much good about this figure except for...
You don't remember much good, so do you remember a lot that's bad?
I don't remember... I remember the transformation being not fun. Oh. And as much as I did like the way the figure looked, I don't remember actually picking it up much. So
do you remember why anything in particularly unfun? Because you mentioned that you didn't like the transformation. Do you remember what it was?
I don't. I think it had something to do with maybe the asymmetrical nature of like how his arms transformed. I remember not exactly liking that on the new figure, but I think the new figure handled that a lot better.
Okay. I mean, you're probably right by that because, it just would be better. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. Exel Hedge says, no pictures of Tiger Hawk in tank mode. No, I don't think he had a tank mode, thankfully. Thank God. Big D says, the feather launchers were cute as well. Yeah, they were all right. You still kind of get them for the new one, but they're just not missile loaded. You have to unpeg them and use them as fans. Big D also says, in fairness to Orange, the transformation could be a little awkward. I think it had issues getting the beast mode body set right for the first few tries. Oh, I think I had issues getting the beast mode body set right for the first few tries. Okay, so it sounds like at least Big D agrees with you that the transformation was a little bit on the awkward side. I think my big issue, at least with the robot mode, the white plastic again eviscerates all of the facial detail. You cannot see, like in this one image, you cannot see like the sculpted teeth or anything like that, which is always a bit of a problem when you do white plastic, which is why Ramulus was so good, because they did it right with Ramulus.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I really like that that metallic mask he has in alt mode too.
If you want to get that now for the new one, you got to buy the DNA, DX9 DNA upgrade kit for it.
There's an upgrade kit for it? Wow, okay.
Yeah, in that kit, I must have done it with Big D, because in that kit you get the wing fillers. So you know how in robot mode the big wings have big gaps in them in the plastic. You get stuff for that. You get you don't pay attention. That's okay. He gets his battle mask. He also gets, his back feet. You can replace those out for bigger back feet, so they look a little bit more in proportion. He gets 2 new guns to replace his current one, so technically you can have him with 4 guns if you want. And then he has a Silverbolt upgrade kit as well, which extends his back, so you know how Silverbolt's tail doesn't cover his bottom? It looks kind of sad. There's a piece that helps extend that out, so his tail actually goes over his bum, and 2 extra joints to help give him extra wing length and articulation. So it's not a bad set. It's just overpriced, like a lot of their sets.
I just noticed that mask. I didn't notice before. It looks like a Battle Cat from He-Man.
Oh, it does. Yeah. No, I hadn't pegged that. No, you're quite right. It does look like that. God damn. Big D says, yeah, DNA's kits look pretty nice, and at least it's covering Tiger Hawk's wings as well as Silverbolts. Yeah, it's true. It's just too much money, I think, for what they are. And Exel Hedge says, Andy, the wheels on the wings were the tank mode. What wheels? I don't think Tiger Hawk had a tank mode.
I don't remember tank mode, but now I'm curious.
It's not listed. I don't remember him having a tank mode. Megatron had a tank mode. So whatever that was.
No, Megatron didn't have a tank mode. He had a tank mode.
Well, yeah, a lot of these Beast Wars things had modes in quotations.
Yeah.
But I don't see these wheels. I'm not saying you're wrong, Exel Hedge. It's not in the images, so I'm a bit perplexed where this tank mode is. But we did speak of Megatron. We're going to end off with Megatron, who's an interesting figure with some weird proportional issues, a gimmick which I don't particularly like, and a third mode which we never talk about. He only has 2 modes because the alt mode's fucking terrible. Always has been. Excuse me. Should we talk about the ship mode first? Let's talk about the ship mode first. It's what if the dragon crash landed into the ground and his body just kind of crumpled up?
Yeah, it looks like someone just defeated a Dark Souls boss.
Yeah,
dragon's down.
There are wheels that let him roll on the ground, but he doesn't do anything apart from fall over on his front. And in the image here, they've got the Megatron head sticking out as well. So
he's angry about it.
He's not happy. Is that how it was meant to be?
That's a good question. I never thought about it because it's too. It seems too goofy to be. I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever I have this mold. I have this figure. I don't think I've put him into the vehicle mode because I looked at it and went, no. Primals had better vehicle modes. They weren't great, but they looked like a vehicle. This doesn't look like anything. Like Rampage had a good vehicle mode, mostly. Death Charge had a good vehicle mode.
Oh yeah, I had
Mostly.
this figure. I put it in this mode like once.
I think most people do, right? They go, then never again.
Yeah, I got Cryotech, and I still have Cryotech. Never
Very
put him in this mode ever.
Now, why would you? Why would you? Especially when the Dragon mode, just like the Legacy version, it's really cool. It's a really good Dragon mode. My only gripe with the Dragon mode is an issue with the gimmick that's in the arm. The arm has this giant lever, switch tilty thingy on its shoulder, the thicker part of the neck, which lets the head kind of look left and right, and that's all it does. It feels kind of crap as a gimmick, which I'm not a big fan of. I like the vacuum chrome on each of the neck armor parts, I guess you could call it, and the vacuum chrome on the front of the face as well. It's quite nice, and you can press down one of his horns to open up his mouth, which looks quite nice. Yeah, I like the Dragon mode. I don't know why in the images they don't have it with the wings unfurled, because I mean that's what I would do. But you can see where a lot of the inspiration for the Legacy one came from, because they just kind of improved upon this in a lot of ways. What do you think of the Dragon mode, Orange?
Yeah, I really liked this. This is one of the Transmetal 2s that I actually liked. I really like it. It's again, to me, this is like one of those elemental decos. He's a fire, and honestly, fire types are my favorite. Right, and he had like really nice looking like pink chrome on him, like vac metal, whatever. And that's what I really miss about it on the new figure. It's like painted on. It does look really nice, but it doesn't have that the vac metal feeling. It's I really miss it. And
you can kind of replicate it with the Toy Hack stickers. I think it's not nearly the same, obviously, but it's closer than it not having it at all.
Yeah, the Dragon mode was really articulated, surprisingly. Like, it had knees, it had hips, little feet. The wings were articulated. Like, you could like flay those out, like they were opened up like dragon wings supposed to, right? And his little arms were articulated, like shoulder joints, elbow joints.
Yeah, he did a decent amount. I thought his wings flapped for a second, but I looked at the details and it doesn't suggest that they did anything. Simon Tang in the chat mentioned the tail is so weird. The soft plastic made a terrible arm. I would agree that the tail, it definitely feels weird. It feels like mushy, rubbery plastic rather than a like hard, solid PVC kind of plastic. Doesn't feel bad, but it's also kind of a weak ass tail in terms of like it's not nearly as long or intimidating as you would hope. It's probably, in fairness, it's probably about as long as the Legacy version, which is also pretty short. But with that one, there's some joints in it, and it's all hard plastic at the very least.
And speaking of this tail, he does the ponytail thing, and he does it well.
Yeah. It does it maybe a little bit better because of it being rubbery plastic than the Legacy version, but the Legacy version feels better, if you know what I mean.
I'm pretty sure it's like articulated, the Legacy one.
The Legacy one, it's got a little bit of articulation, not a huge amount, but it definitely has a bit to it. Where this one is one big lump of rubbery plastic, so it kind of has it has give to it, but it doesn't have any posability to it. I guess that's the thing you could say, right?
Yeah.
So robot mode, he has an inaccurate face, which so does the new one. I guess that's a thing you could say against it. He has a chest piece or like cock piece on his forearm. His dragon arm obviously takes up a good stint of the figure, and his chest is very inaccurate to what he looks like in the show. But it looks good. It's one of the crystals, and it's definitely a thing that grabs your attention at the very least. Do you have any thoughts on the robot mode?
I think it was really good. I mean, there was things wrong with it as you listed, but like he was pretty solid. He in my opinion, done what he was supposed to. Like,
Yeah.
He he was pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And then you had, as you mentioned, you had the Cryotech version, which is the only recolor, which is this is one of the guys that is, again, really expensive to get. I'm guessing not super popular or well distributed during the transitional RID line period. But they just turned him from Fire Dragon to Ice Dragon, and it looks really good. Really good.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts on Cryotech or anything like that?
Cryotech is outstanding. I love it, and I really can't wait for the Kingdom Legacy figure to get recolored. This deco is so nice.
I know it won't happen, but I'd like them to remake the face a little bit for the Cryotech, even if it's just as simple as like giving him a new expression. I'd like that.
I mean, like they're retooling the Blitzwing head for Overcharge, so
that's true. Yeah, that's true. So you never know.
Yeah.
Between this one and Megatron, who do you prefer? Do you prefer Cryotech or do you prefer Megatron? Or is it too hard?
Definitely, yeah.
Is it just the colors you prefer on him? I'm guessing it must be, right? Because they're the same.
Yeah, like there's also apparently some really good characterization to him, and I never looked into that because I'm a dork, but I think I would want to see him more character wise, and I know I like fire types more, but like there's something about this color scheme that really speaks to me. He just looks really nice.
He's got a really good palette of blue. It's not just the kind of oceany blue. He's also got very kind of cyan, light blue for his wings and for like a whitey teal blue on the underside of his neck. The only part of the color scheme that makes me kind of raise an eyebrow, but I don't think looks bad, is the gray face. The gray face stands out compared to the rest of it. You can see all the detail, but it's very stark in comparison, and maybe it needed a bit more color to it to break it up, because it's got like spots of orange here and there, but it's strange.
And I think another good thing about the beast mode is like it looks like one of those. It looks like a dragon that you could actually see in like an RPG, like in an ice cave, right?
Yeah, 100%. Message wise, Big D says it's a nice dragon, just a shame about the rubbery plastic as well in the tail and the neck. Yep, we mentioned that. In fairness, as patchy as this wave of Beast Wars could be, Tigerhawk and Megatron were a great pair to cap the series off before the shift to Beast Machines. And Exelhead says the pilot's seat in Megatron's chest orb was weird. Excuse me. I agree.
It did have a pilot seat.
I completely forgot it was a pilot seat. Maybe that was the concept of how Megatron Spark was going to be in G1. Megatron Spark was meant to be housed in his body. Then obviously, I guess they just changed it. I think they changed it for the better, to be fair.
I don't think the pilot seat was accessible in the toy without disassembling it, but.
Yeah, it was like a gyro thing, wasn't it? Because no matter what you did, it was the correct way up.
Yeah.
It was weird. Exelhead says, I still want the oversized KO of the Perfect Effect Megatron to go with my Optimal Optimus if it ever gets made! ! You never know. You never know. So, Orange, I posed you this... I posed you this question before we started recording. Which is your favorite era of Beast Wars? Do you like the first wave of the standard Beast Wars stuff? The second wave of the standard Beast Wars stuff? Transmetal 1 or Transmetal 2? And why?
Third year, by far. Like, the Transmetals, like, they were... like fully robotic, except like their robot modes actually had beast bits in them, like they were turned inside out. I think that was an interesting concept to me, and their vac metal look so much better than like the vac metal toys were like really common at the time. Like the Power Rangers had them. There was a lot of like random toys you could find in Toys R Us that had like vac metal on them, but the Transmetals seemed like the best, like the top tier vac metal toys, and they looked so gorgeous. All of them were like show characters. Even Scavenger, he's Inferno. You can't tell me otherwise. And uh, they had really interesting like aesthetics. Like I said, I really like Transmetal Rhinox's aesthetic. I really dug like Rat Trap's. Like he looks so much better than how he looked in season 1.
Yeah.
And like his toy was like super articulated, super fun. And Megatron was my favorite Transmetal design, and I like he was near perfect. The only downside before the gold plastic syndrome set in was his size. He was just too small, and I have hope that Hasbro will fix that eventually when they decide to. Yeah, exactly. I'm not expecting the vac metal to return, but
No.
Yeah.
No, I would agree. I was thinking to myself, am I going to just say that the last year, the 99 year, the one that we've just talked about, was my favorite year? And I thought more about it, and I thought no, because I think an issue I had with 99 was they dropped the Fusors. There are no Fusors, and I think that was a bit of a shame because the Fusors... not every Fusor is a banger, don't get me wrong, but I think the idea behind Fusors was a really interesting one. An idea which it feels like they kind of gave up on, apart from Tigerhawk, who's the closest thing to a Fusor.
I really love the Fusors too, and
Yeah.
a lot of them I'd like to see back. Like I would like to see like a Commander class Torka, like that would be so amazing. Like he's like really big and impressive in the comics, and I'd just like to see like they have such interesting designs. Silverbolt was my favorite character in the show. I don't know why. He's just such. I see him as just such a simp now, but he was cool back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like Fusors too. I think that's another reason why I like Year 3, because of the Fusors.
Yeah, you mentioned Megatron. I think Transmetal 1 Megatron is better than Transmetal 2 Megatron. Transmetal 2 Megatron's fine, but Transmetal 1 Megatron's just more fun. And it's not as hampered by gimmicks, oddly enough, like Transmetal 2 Megatron is. You got 2 primals in 98. You know, you got the old Optimal Optimus, which is okay, and you got a Flying Surfboard Monkey, which again, transformation wise and play factor wise, I think is better than Optimal Optimus. But I never really vibed with his design. And you got a good spread of like weird characters as well, like Pterosaur and Waspinator, kind of like 99's line as well. I think the real factor that changes it for me is the fact, like I said, one had Fusors, the other didn't. I think there were more figures because of that. In 98 year as well, because there was quite a few basics. Some of them were Fusors, some of them were standard Transmetals, all that jazz. Same for Deluxes. Yeah.
Oh, there was no standard Transmetal basics. There were. I'm pretty sure it was just Fusors. Yeah.
No, yeah. You're right. That's right. Yeah. So maybe that's a boon. At least you could get cheapo Transmetals this time around, and they were interesting enough. But yeah, Beast Wars generally a really strong line. A real nice sequel to G1, though it was very swinging out the gates, just trying to do something different, and it worked well enough to keep Transformers trugging along until today. It's thanks to Beast Wars in a lot of ways that they managed to keep going. Big D, Excel Hedge says Tigerhawk also has a pilot seat. That's true. It's the Orb in his arm. That theory also applied to the VOC. That seat don't make sense. And Big D says, Transmetal Rat Trap is a fantastic bit of design. I think both me and Orange said last time that, at least I did, I said one of the problems I had with Transmetal Rat Trap was I wanted that backpack to turn around like it did in the show, and it never did.
Yeah, same. Yep.
And it fucking annoyed me because it seemed like
Same
it was
here.
a reasonably easy thing to do. That's his main issue. If they never made that part transform like that in the show, it would have been fine for that toy. But I think that's done for the show. We've gone a decent amount of time. Orange, thanks for coming on by, my dude.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah. Next time we do one of these shows, we'll be moving on to the is it fair to say Dark Time that was Beast Machines?
It was not the lightest time. No.
No, it was an experimental time. It was very much the 70s of Transformers, where we were doing drugs and trying new things, for better or for worse. Where can people find you on the internet, Orange, if you want to be found?
On most social medias at Keshmar Orange, Keshmar. Orange is in the color or the fruit. And I'm on Twitch as Orange-itis. That's exactly how you would spell inflammation of the orange.
What are you going to be streaming next?
Star Trek Online.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm doing a lot of ship leveling and in getting everything ready to kit out the ships that I have been getting in the last year.
What faction are you primarily focusing on? Are you dancing between all of them?
I've honestly not been. I've not been active at all on any faction except Fed.
Okay, all right, yeah.
100% Federation now, which is like 99% of the population of the game. Let's be honest.
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah.
Wow. Well, you can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, Twitch, iTunes, Libsyn, Facebook, all those places. YouTube is Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. If you want to join us each and every week on a Sunday at 8 o'clock in the evening UK time, it's on Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. We're also on Twitch if you want to watch us that way. And if you want to see me, I'm Decayed Andy here and in most places, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, those kind of deals. Thank you very much for coming on by, everybody. We'll probably be when's PulseCon? Is it next week? Is it the week after?
Is it? I thought it was next month. I'm gonna have to check now.
Yeah, I can't remember offhand. I thought it was relatively soon. I couldn't remember completely offhand exactly when.
I hope so. We're gonna see the next sneak peek at the next year Transformers.
Yeah, we'll probably finally get to see some of those toys that we've got the leaks on, but haven't actually seen yet.
Yeah.
At least that's the hope. Yeah, I thought it was pretty close. It might not be till next month, just because we've just had SDCC. I thought it was really close, oddly enough. Are you looking for it now, Orange?
I should be, shouldn't I?
Let me have a look. Hasbro PulseCon, is that what it's called? Hasbro
Yes.
PulseCon. It is no, that's San Diego Comic-Con. How is that not the first thing to see?
September 13th.
Oh, September 13th. Yeah, next month. Damn. Okay, so I'm not sure if there will be a lot of news to talk about next week. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, thanks for coming on by, everybody. Thank you again, Orange.
Thanks for having me on.
And until next week, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.